A beggar used to live at a railway station in a city. He would survive by begging from the passengers travelling on trains that stopped there. One day, while he was begging, he noticed a tall man dressed in a suit. The beggar thought, "This man looks very rich. If I ask him, he might give me good money." He approached the tall man and asked for alms. Seeing the beggar, the man said, "You always keep asking. Have you ever given anything to anyone?" The beggar replied, "Sir, I'm just a beggar. I only ask from people. How can I possibly give anything to anyone?" The tall man said, "If you can't give anything to anyone, then you don't have the right to ask either. I am a businessman and I believe in give and take. If you have something to offer me, only then can I give you something in return." Saying this, the man boarded the train and left. The beggar kept thinking about what the tall man had said. His words touched the beggar deeply. He thought, maybe the reason I don't get much money is because I have nothing to give in return. But I am a beggar. What could I possibly offer? 2 days passed as he pondered this question, but he couldn't find an answer. On the third day, while sitting near the station, he noticed some flowers blooming on the nearby plants. He thought, why not give flowers in return when someone gives me alms? He liked the idea. He picked some flowers and went to beg in the train. Now, whenever someone gave him alms, he would give them a flower in return. People gladly accepted the flowers and kept them with joy. Every day, he would pluck flowers and hand them out in exchange for alms. Within a few days, he noticed that more people were now giving him money. As long as he had flowers, people kept giving. But once the flowers were gone, the money stopped coming in. This routine continued. One day, while begging, he saw the same tall man in the train, the one whose words had inspired him to start giving flowers. He rushed to him and said, "Today I have something to give you, a few flowers. If you give me alms, I'll give you these in return." The man gave him some money, and the beggar offered him flowers. The tall man was delighted and said, "Wow, what a transformation. Today, you too have become a businessman like me." Saying this, the man smiled and exited the train at his stop. Once again, the man's words deeply touched the beggar. He thought about them repeatedly and felt immense joy. His eyes sparkled. He felt that he had found the key to success, the very key that could change his life. He jumped off the train, looked up at the sky, and shouted with great excitement, "I am not a beggar! I am a businessman! I can become rich too!" People saw him and thought he had gone mad. After that day, the beggar was never seen at that station again. 6 months later, at the same station, 2 well-dressed men were traveling. When they saw each other, one extended his hand and said, "Do you recognize me?" The other replied, "No, I believe we're meeting for the first time." The first man smiled and said, "No, think again, this is actually our 3rd meeting." The second man said, "I don't remember, when did we meet before?" The first man smiled again and said, "We met twice earlier on this train. I am the same beggar to whom you once said what I should do in life, and in the second meeting you told me who I really was." The second man, surprised, said, "Oh yes, now I remember. You were the beggar I once refused to give alms to, and the next time I bought some flowers from you. But where are you going now in this suit, and what do you do these days?" The first man replied, "Yes, I was that beggar. But today I am a big flower merchant. I'm traveling to another city for business." He continued, "In our first meeting, you taught me a law of nature, that we only receive when we give. That principle of give and take truly works. I've experienced it. But back then I always saw myself as a beggar. I never thought beyond that. In our second meeting, you told me I'd become a businessman. That's when I truly understood. People weren't giving me alms, they were paying for the flowers. I was a small businessman in their eyes, but in my own eyes, I still saw myself as a beggar. You helped me realize who I truly was. With the money I earned by distributing flowers, I bought more and eventually started a flower business. People here love flowers, and that love made me a successful flower trader." Both businessmen smiled and got off the train together, continuing to discuss their businesses as they walked away. Moral of the story. This story teaches us many valuable lessons. The tall businessman understood the principle of give and take very well, a principle that all great entrepreneurs use to achieve success. He passed this wisdom on to the beggar. The beggar adopted this natural law, and its effect was clearly visible in his life. He changed his thinking, and his life changed. The story shows that if we change our mindset, we can achieve anything. If we always consider ourselves small, we'll remain small. To become great, we must think greatly about ourselves. In summary, success lies in your thinking. Awaken your self-respect, expand your vision, and see how you reach the peak of success.